Top 10 Reasons Why Microsoft Sucks by Brendan Lee. Hosted by me. Contents. The operating system sucks. The app the apps suck. The Microsoft account sucks. Nobody cares about Microsoft stuff. Google stuff is 999 times better. Disclaimer, no hate to Bill Gates. Number 1. The operating system sucks. Firstly, when you have to set up a new computer, you have to log into your account, but it's actually not your Google account, it's your Microsoft account. Also, it asks you shit like, ooh, you want to jack us off so that you can save your shit to the cloud, but in reality, that cloud is OneDrive. When you log in to your computer, it's not actually a profiles, it's your Microsoft account, not even your Google account. Windows 11 sucks because it's just Windows 10 but shitter. But Windows 10 is actually good, don't get me wrong. 2. The apps suck. For example, Word. Word sucks because there are better options, but I will talk more about that later. Firstly, when you save, it makes it go to your OneDrive, and nobody likes OneDrive. I will talk about that later as well. However, if you are Ben and you right click and then it saves to your computer, oh no, your computer broke. Now you lost your files forever. You need to pay money to use it unless you are from school. Even though I am from school and I can use it and it costs money, so I should, but it is still shitter than Google Docs. So why would anyone pay for it if Google Docs is just better? Therefore, nobody will pay for Microsoft Word subscription Pornhub Premium. It is uglier than Google Docs. Just look at Microsoft Word versus Google Docs comparison before versus after on the next slide. It is an app unlike Google Docs, which means you have to tab out. However, if you use Google Docs, you do not have to. It costs money. You cannot even collab in Microsoft Word, except that you can collab very easily in Google Docs. Actually, Ben said that you can collab in Microsoft Word, but nobody uses it because it's shit. When I have to submit work to a teacher, I used to use Microsoft Word, but when I save my Word, I want to submit my file for my computer, but actually, it is not on my computer because it is on my OneDrive. Even worse, it's on my school email because when you activate the school thing for the Microsoft products, it fucking converts your entire life to your school email. It's mad ugly after when you need to download your Google Doc into a Word document and then it has 9,999 times wiggly lines, but in reality most of them is because it thinks you are American, but in reality you are an Australian, mate. Also, you have to download it, but instead you can go into your browser, Google Chrome made by Google, which you have to go into your browser anyways to do research and shit. Google Docs and Microsoft Word at the bottom. As you can see, Microsoft Word is uglier than Google Docs. Number 2, the apps suck. Number 3, the apps suck. Microsoft Edge. In my opinion, Microsoft Edge does not actually suck that bad, except that Google Chrome is actually better because it doesn't use Bing, but they use Google search engine instead. Bing is worse than Google. Imagine you are Microsoft and then you make a browser, however, instead of investing in a Microsoft Edge browser, you make Windows 11 not shit because now nobody uses Microsoft Edge except for probably Ben because he likes Bing because he is Bing chilling. Number 4, the app sucks. OneDrive. Firstly, it is worse than Google Drive. You have to use it with Word and Word sucks. Whenever you want to use Microsoft shit and you save it to your computer, but actually saves to OneDrive and you will never find it ever again, except when you go into OneDrive, but then you have to download it back onto your computer. Microsoft keeps shoving OneDrive up my ass, but instead I want to use Google Drive. It should actually be called Microsoft Drive, not OneDrive, because it implies that you only need OneDrive, which is true, but not this one. In reality, you need Google Drive. Also, for OneNote and OneDrive and Outlook, why they are not all called Microsoft Drive or Microsoft Mail, but instead it's Outlook. The Microsoft account sucks. Firstly, everyone, when they were a kid, they made a Google account first because you didn't need to use Microsoft because they were using Google Docs instead. And also YouTube, therefore, it is inconvenient if you make a new Microsoft account just to use their shit apps. You make your Microsoft account with your Gmail account. You have to remember more passwords. You have to connect Minecraft to it, which made it worse to log into Minecraft, and that is detrimental to people who play Minecraft because now it is more complicated and stuff. And remember, they are kids, so do not make it too hard for them. Number 5, nobody cares about Microsoft stuff. Imagine you are at school and then you got a group project and then you have to share a doc and you ask your group, hey guys, let's collaborate on Microsoft Word. But then they did not know it was even possible to collaborate on Microsoft Word because they use Docs, because it is better and nobody uses Microsoft stuff. Except for when they download the stuff they did on Google stuff into Microsoft stuff. For example, Google Slides to PowerPoint so that they can submit it to Canvas. Also, except for Excel. Also, when they name their stuff One blank or Outlook instead of a Microsoft blank, some people do not even know about it because they named it such a shit name. Proof on the next slide. From this, it is evident that Microsoft has made a fatal mistake in naming their products shit names because now nobody cares about them. Finally, Google stuff is just a better option. Everyone already has a Google account. Everyone uses YouTube, which uses Google account. Very easy to share Google stuff with link or email or whatever. With the other shit, you gotta send them a file and they have to download it. It is also easier to collaborate on Google Docs and stuff. Google Docs is better than Microsoft Word. Google Drive is less ugly and more better than OneDrive. Also, it is actually called Google Drive, but OneDrive should be called Microsoft Drive. Google is more reliable and less sus than Bing. You don't need to even save stuff to your computer, so no need to worry about if your computer will break because it automatically saves to Google Drive. But you can save it to OneDrive. Actually, OneDrive is worse than Google Drive. Refer to slide 7. So why not use Google Drive instead? Thank you for listening to my presentation about why Microsoft sucks. The main reason why Microsoft sucks is because it actually doesn't suck, but I would rather use Google stuff because it is better. However, it keeps telling me to use the Microsoft stuff when I don't want to. Also, this is not biased because I use Windows 10, so I am experienced with Microsoft products. Thank you for listening to my presentation, made by Brendan Lee.